Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel, Football Therapy, with me, your host, Jan. And as always, mate, I do hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's been said about Chelsea, giving you my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on it. But as always, mate, more importantly, asking for yours. Today, we're talking about a few things. Could we recall either central midfielder Leslie Ugachukwu or Andre Santos, who are both now playing very well in their respective loans? Matt Law said some interesting stuff on the London is Blue podcast, notably about strikers that I'd like to speak about. Two, we are going to reflect on an article by Ben Jacobs published last night speaking about Garnacho and other stuff like that. And we'll look at Benjamin Sesko on X value a little bit, because that's fun. We do that here, don't we? We look at stats. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bit of housework. If you want to support the content, drop a like, subscribe if you want to. Hit the bell if you choose to. Let's get into it. Delighted to say this video is brought to you by Stocks FC. Look at my portfolio. Huh? Look. Profit here on the right-hand side. Stocks FC is a stock market for footballers. You buy low, sell high, player trading. It's a little bit like Fantasy Premier League. It's 18 plus, chance to make money on it. This is my portfolio at the moment. I've just bought the likes of, let's go down here, Raul Jimenez, because I think he's going to start scoring again. Eze was a little bit of a flop for me. I bought Matoma in. I bought Nkunku in, because I think he'll either be used or he might get sold, and then I think he's down enough that his value will soar, and then I could sell him. Of course, my biggest victory of late is Reece James, getting him in, Morgan Rogers and Bruno Fernandes as well. I mean, even Haaland's on the app, so I should really sell the James stocks while they're over 83% up. But still, it's fun. Do check out Stocks FC if you like to play FPL and you want to, do some player trading. It's a great platform. Click the link in the top of the description or scan this QR code if you're watching on a big screen. Go check it out. It's a lot of fun. Thanks, Stocks FC, my friends. What, mate? So, Chelsea news. Let's get into that then a little bit, shall we? First of all, the midfield gang, the midfield situation at Chelsea maintenant is a tricky one. Of course, we have Caicedo going down in the last game, and then everyone absolutely bricking their undies, because there's no one ready to come in and play that role. People speculate about defenders stepping in. Of course, both Reece James and Trevoh Chalobah have done that before in their careers. Is that the answer? I'm not so sure. It looks like Dewsbury Hall might be considered to rotate in for Enzo Fernandez, but the Moises Caicedo situation is tough. The original stance being briefed out by Chelsea was they're not going to recall Andre Santos and Leslie Ugachukwu, but there's an idea that maybe that could change, because of course Lavia's out injured, Enzo's had a bit of an injury, and we're just screwed, essentially. So, look, the truth is, Andre Santos is having a wicked time at Strasbourg and is doing really, really well, and hasn't actually played in the Premier League or for Chelsea yet. And you feel like it would be more to lose developmentally for him. And, there is a vested interest in Chelsea and Strasbourg doing a little bit well. And actually, in the long term, Strasbourg doing well will help Chelsea do well. So I kind of get it from that lens. But Leslie Ugachukwu, who, by the way, in the last 3 games has played really, really well since he's come back into the starting lineup in a terrible Southampton team, but under a new manager, getting assists. And Jesse Park-Humphries on the Straight Out of Common podcast made some good points about him, how he's played in the Premier League before, he's played with Chelsea before, he's playing in the Premier League right now. He's very much, probably more that sort of Caicedo profile than Andre Santos. Personally, I would just recall Leslie. I would, mate. I'd be like, yeah, he's a good player, he's a good operator, he can play, and he can just play, even if he just comes to Chelsea to play in the FA Cup, comes to Chelsea to play in the Conference League, comes to Chelsea to play token minutes in the Prem to see out games, or God forbid, there's just an injury and he needs to come off. That's loads of minutes for him. Really, how old is he, 19? I'm not entirely sure. I'm just going to confirm now while I'm speaking. He's 20. So, he's 20 years old. He's a proper young player still. And if you say, look, you're playing in the Prem now, come back and play for a better team in Chelsea, you'll get really meaningful minutes, and we need you. And also, I understand what you're losing by pulling. Andre Santos is by far the better player, by the way. Let's not get it twisted. But I understand what you're losing by recalling him early from what is an incredible season and developmental experience for him. So just let him finish that. But, what are you losing from Leslie? Oh, we're pulling you out of a guaranteed relegation team campaign. Let's still, he's starting every game and it's really valuable. But who gives a Ruddy so-and-so? He's our player. We own him. Means we don't have to do any panic buying. That's just me pointedly, man. That's what I'd do. What would you do? Let me know in the comment section below. We're going to speak about Benjamin Sesko in just a moment, but Matt Law said on the London is Blue podcast, Chelsea's next centre-forward, I think people at Chelsea like Sesko and Delap. I don't really see why Osimhen would have disappeared off it. Chelsea are definitely tracking them all for sure, particularly Sesko and Delap. Now, Benjamin Sesko might get the juices flowing of a few more Chelsea fans out there because he's high profile, he's wanted by Arsenal and loads of other people, and Delap's sort of coming through, the Premier League now, looking really good, and, obviously, I like to reference, he played really well under Enzo Maresca, Cole Palmer, Lavia, and Delap have all played under Enzo Maresca. He knows how they play, and he thinks Delap's wicked. So I would be happy if we signed Delap, and he'd be cheaper than Benjamin Sesko, who of course extended with Leipzig, but we will look at his stats in just a moment. Oh yeah, a bit of a reminder, Goat Gang merch now available for pre-order, which I believe they get shipped in not too long now, and then obviously you'll be able to just order as you go, but the pre-order drop is live. Organic tees, lovely, wicked hoodies as well. I'll put products below the video if you guys want to check it out and become a member of the Goat Gang OGs. For those of you who don't know, that's what the subscribers of this channel are called, long term. So yeah, do feel free to check out Football Therapy Goat Gang merch. Alright, so before we get into the Sesko stats, and we know Delap has liked as well, I am going to check out this article here from Ben Jacobs, who's well informed. Big in the game at the moment, Ben Jacobs, isn't he? Talking about Garnacho and other things as well. So I'm going to pause the recording so I sip my coffee, no dead air time, and we're going to get into it. Oh, mama. Mr. Jacobs writes this. Chelsea are deciding whether to place a bid for Manchester United winger Alejandro Garnacho as they assess adding another wide attacker before the January window shuts. Worth mentioning at this point, gang, that Simon Johnson of The Athletic has also confirmed that Chelsea are seriously considering another winger, despite having a lot of them, and a winger this month. And I guess the next kind of week, or whatever, however long we've got left here, the Blues face competition from Napoli, must contend with Manchester United's €70 million asking price. By the way, there has been rumours since that 70 million euros has gone down to 60 million euros or 55. How much is in? Because I work in pounds, because I live here in the kingdom. 60 million euros is 50 million pounds. 19-year-old Garnacho? How old is this little knobber? He's 20. He's 20 and he turned 20 in the summer. He's a bit of a knobber, isn't he? Look, he might come to Chelsea and be bloody wicked. Yeah, just out of context as well, Fabrizio Romano tweeted just earlier this morning, Napoli's opening bid for Alejandro Garnacho is worth 50 million euros package, which is add-ons included, yeah? So that might be like 40 million, they might be offering 30 million quid or 32 million pounds for him, which is nothing really for, I mean, look, he's a talented, high-ceiling player. He is, bro. Like, he is. Antonio Conte keeps pushing the call of Garnacho on Friday. So Conte really wants him to be obviously a Kvaratskhelia replacement. Chelsea made contact with United and player side, now deciding internally whether to bid or not. There's also suggestions that he'd like to stay in the Prem. He might even get on the phone to Sancho and be like, is it nice there? I'd much prefer it than Man United, mate. And Chelsea would almost certainly pay more money than Napoli to buy him. Even if it's not crazy money, it might still be a good deal. Because Man United, guys, seriously, I'm going to swear now. They're shit. They are. And they can't do any business because they're hamstrung by financial fair play. Garnacho represents a pure profit asset, unless I'm an absolute knobber and forgot they bought him, but I feel like he's a academy graduate. So if, for example, Chelsea pay 50 million quid for him, they'll be like, thank you very much. We can go and buy two 50 million pound players because it's pure profit. Or whatever, and they can try and rebuild under Amorim, save their season. Or try and win the Europa League, bro. They're not going to qualify for Europe in the league, but they can win the Europa League, win a European trophy, and qualify for the Champions League. You know, it's still got scope to save their season. But let's hope they don't, because it's terrific banter. So it says the number, the 70 million, which almost certainly will drop, euros, 60 million odd quid. That number will drop somewhat as the window draws to a close, but Manchester United are sticking to a high valuation given Garnacho's value to the squad and his high ceiling. I think probably more notably his high ceiling. Look, Napoli have currently placed two offers, while Garnacho is described as incredible by teammate Rasmus Højlund, who gives a ruddy so-and-so about that. He's held talks with Conte, but Chelsea can't be discounted. A move to Stamford Bridge was fueled on Monday night when Garnacho's agents Carlos Cambiero and Quique De Lucas posted footage of them watching Chelsea's win over Wolves. Stirring the pot. Give Me Sport understands they weren't directly invited by Chelsea's owners, but talks have taken place while Chelsea assess whether to bid. Before we move on to the others here, so in the story, we probably need a left-sided attacker if we feel Mudrik's going to be banned. Do I look to our left-sided attacker being like, save our season, save our project? No. If we bought a talented player like Garnacho to come in and rotate with Sancho and Neto and Noni, rotate on the right, fine. And you obviously bring in a striker, bolster the midfield, bring in a striker. Oh my God, get a new goalkeeper. I posted a stat on my Instagram at FootballYannick about how just bad he is, and I'm not gonna put that up here. Yeah, man. So yeah, if we sign Garnacho for not a lot of money, I'm not gonna throw my toys out the pram. But I also don't really give AF if we do or not. Chelsea also keen on Jamie Gittins and Mathys Tel, as we know. Chelsea have holding an interest in Dortmund's Jamie Gittins, which probably has got the streets more excited, Chelsea fans. And Bayern Munich's Mathys Tel, probably even more than the aforementioned too. The latter is difficult to pull off given Bayern's reluctance to sell and his reluctance to join, I think, as well. The German side is retaining interest in Nkunku, but put off by Chelsea's expansive asking price. If Bayern do not push for Nkunku, it would make it harder for Chelsea to land Tel, of course, but both prospective transfers would be separate deals. Chelsea are also in the market for a striker in 2025. I think Mathys Tel is a striker. I know he's versatile, but... And Nkunku would depart late window. The move is not ruled out. Oh! Chelsea hold a strong interest in Ipswich striker Liam Delap and viewed many by the industry, or industry insiders, that Chelsea are in pole position to land Delap's signature. Ipswich do not want to sell mid-season, but a summer exit is realistic. City have a buyback clause for Delap, but there's no indication yet they want to trigger it. Probably because they're paying £620,000 a week to Erling Haaland. Oh my word. Talk about breaking football. Here we go. Benjamin Sesko is another target, with Chelsea expected to face firm competition from the likes of Arsenal, possibly Man United as well. I imagine they do want to go in for Victor Gyökeres to get him back with his old gaffer. Chelsea will not make an approach for Dusan Vlahovic, despite links. Something I haven't reported on here, but apparently there were links, and apparently it's bollocks. Talks with Juventus have only focused around Renato Vega, who's also had an offer from Dortmund. Yeah, old Renny Vega. Dortmund, Juve, his stock. Speaking of stocks are high, I should have got him on Stocks FC. I don't know if he's been released yet as a stock to trade, but I imagine he's up there. Chelsea's primary focus on several outgoings in the final days of the window, but it's clear they will be opportunistic should the right move be available. West Ham are considering bidding for both Carney, Chukwuemeka and Dewsbury Hall. Carney could be loaned to Strasbourg, with Caleb Wiley being recalled. The £14 million deal, of course, for Mamadou Sarr, the new centre-back, does not take up a loan spot since it's a pre-agreed deal. It happens in the summer. We spoke about the young defender last video. Chelsea opened to offers for Chilwell, yeah, newsflash, and Joao Felix. Axel Disasi could also leave for the right price. So yeah, Chilwell, Felix and Disasi are 3 players Chelsea are open to offers for. Chilwell is keen for minutes and has been told by Thomas Tuchel he's still in his England plans. Yeah, because he won the Champions League with him, left wing back. Keep saying. Tuchel will be looking at his boys. He will be looking at Chile. He'll be certainly looking at Reece, like, you're coming, mate, no matter what. You could have one leg. He'll be looking at Mason Mount. Trevoh Chalobah. Yeah. These guys are excited about the new England, definitely not English gaffer, England gaffer. Felix is drawing interest from multiple European suitors and is keen to understand if a loan will be sanctioned. Yeah, because he wants to play football. Disasi is available. These players will be thinking World Cup 2026. Big World Cup in America, all in their prime. You know, the Felixes, the Disasis, the Nkunkus. They need to know, bro. And then Disasi will be available in the market despite being included on the squad and playing. Yeah, okay. So Sesko, striker. Let's have a look here on X Value. I forget how young this guy is, right? So here he is. Look at his performance chart. Look at his heat map. He is all over the gaff. You don't see Haaland running like that. What is he good at, guys? Shooting, carries, and aerials. Proper centre forward. He is a young Slovenian striker. I'm certain we've done all this before statistics-wise. He's only 21 still, which is mental. He's very big, 195 centimetres. Big boy in the box. And what's he good at? He's a mobile finisher, which is lovely. It's what we want. A little bit of a target man. He's good at ball carrying, as you can see. Dribbling. Touches in the opposition box. Let's look at his advanced stats for further context. He does seem like Sesko seems like the kind of 9 that the sporting directors were looking at in terms of Samu Omorodion, John Duran, etc. His polar chart shows him as, what's his strengths? Through balls received. So yeah, he'll be there in the place to score. Again, good ball carrier. Non-penalty XG, kind of good. His non-penalty XG is 87th percentile, playing for Leipzig. I was going to see how Leipzig are doing this season. Okay, so they're not doing that great. They're 5th. They are 14 points off top. So you gotta give that like what do you call it? Like context in terms of how well he's playing, which is still pretty strong, 87th percentile. He's not a chance creator at all. And he's not a progressor, so he is a striker. He's a meat and potatoes centre forward striker, which, to be honest, mate, sounds good to me. We can have all the floaty forwards, passy boys we want. Essentially, we need people who can win headers, score headers, hold the ball up, be tall, strong, and good as a striker. He seems good to me. Be funny beating him to Arsenal as well. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Leave your thoughts on all the stories I've spoken about today. Do check out Stocks FC by clicking the link in the description or scanning the QR code on the screen. And if you want Goat Gang merch, there'll be product links under the video. Ooh, keep it locked. I'll see you back here soon. Hopefully. Peace.